Welcome back to our YouTube channel, guys. This is 3 easy dance lifts part 3. So part 1 and 2 did really well. Today we're actually going to go into a little bit more detail. So this is not one of those videos where you can pop in, see a couple of tricks and try and learn them. We're going in depth today, so hopefully you guys enjoy the amount of detail that's in there so that you can be really safe and have a good time while you're learning these lifts. All 3 of them are cartwheel variations. It's going to start easy, sort of intermediate, and then get a little bit more advanced. So make sure you start at the beginning and work your way through slowly.
And if you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment below. If you're interested in working with us privately, we do online coaching. We actually travel as well. So just direct message us and ask us where we're going to be at, or if you're interested in online coaching, we can definitely do that.
For our next trick.
This is actually the first trick.
This is the first trick. For our first trick, we're going to be doing a cartwheel thing, because there's a lot of them and they don't all have specific names. We're going to do it stationary first, and then we'll show you guys a variation of it. So we're going to go right to right, and actually this hand hold is not like a arm wrestling hold. It's actually going to be more of like a trapeze grip. So her hand is on my forearm, and from here we're going to bring the left hand over top. Her left hand is over top as well. And we're going to, again, do this stationary, so we'll do it quick for you. You'll see we release that left hand at the very, very end. If you know how to do a cartwheel, you're going to have a pretty good idea as the flyer of how to do this movement. So I'm going to talk about what the base is doing here. My focus is on providing sort of like a pivot point for her body. So I want to try and get her forearm and my forearm to her hip as she's coming through. Then her upper body is going to go over top of that pivot point, right? And then she's going to actually, as she continues through with the cartwheel, my left arm will become that pivot point on her opposite hip. Okay, so we're going to go slowly into the entrance, but then we're going to speed it up because, again, you need momentum. So we're going to lower, pick up with the right elbow, left elbow, lower her, and then from here, you can go ahead and release and just hold on with this right hand.
As the flyers, as going into this, it's kind of scary because you're like just plummeting to the floor. Because of the arm hold, the arm positions, and because of how wide your legs are, you're not going to hit the floor, I promise you. So the key thing is to just tilt into it, let your body weight go. If you're trying to resist it, you'll never get your legs over. So maybe try a couple of cartwheels, like Brandon was saying. It's just like a cartwheel. You just have assistance here. So try a couple of cartwheels in the direction that you're going to be doing this lift. That way you can kind of get a feeling for where you're going. Then from there, just like Brandon said, I'm trying to reach up and over. So I'm not going straight down into the lift and dumping into it. I'm trying to reach up and over. That way I can get the side of my body onto his forearm here. Once I've done that, as you can see, what I've done before is I'm lifting that right leg. I'm doing my cartwheel to the right, to the left. I'm lifting my right leg immediately. That way when I tip over, that leg is going to catch on his other arm. So we're going to do it, we're going to try and do it really slow so you can see it. So I'm going to lift up and over, tilt my body, lift the leg. He's going to lift me up. Once we're here, because my legs are wide, I'm not scared of it. How you doing, babe?
I'm alright.
So then from here, he's going to tilt it with his left arm, or his right arm, I'm sorry, and then we're just going to come through, and you can release the arm from there.
Okay, now we have a small variation that you can do to basically just add some more oomph to this one. So we're going to move over to the side a little bit more. Basically, you're doing the same exact thing, you just have a chassé that's going to precede the actual movement. So without going into the movement, together we both have our left foot pointed to the side, and we're going to go side together, side. Okay, and that's going to provide sort of the power she needs to get into this movement. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate that for you in real time. So we have 1, 2, all the way through.
1, 2, all the way through.
Practice it stationary first, get comfortable with it, and then really time that movement together, and you'll see you get almost like a kind of like a skip sensation, and that really helps add some air to the movement. Okay guys, this is another cartwheely thing 2. If you're comfortable doing a cartwheel, you're going to be pretty comfortable with the mechanics of this. Again, we're just assisting from a different part of her body now. So instead of assisting through the arms and the hips, we're actually going to be hitting a squat position, and it's important when we get into the squat position that we are not forward, because actually this is her path of travel right here. So we need to make sure that we're far back, that we reach around our partner, catch, and what she's gonna do is she's gonna talk about how she'll secure through the legs, and then we go into the cartwheel. So we're gonna demonstrate that for you real quick, and then we'll break down each other's part. All right, let's go over the leader's part. Again, I kind of described it a little bit earlier before, but you want to make sure that you have a really nice wide stance. It's a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, and that you're getting low in your legs. So by getting low in your legs, it feels really weird to talk this way online. So by getting low in the legs, you're actually providing the platform for your partner to place her shoulders and make this happen. Next thing, again, you want to make sure that your body weight is back and that you are reaching behind her arms and shoulders. So it can be kind of confusing. You might want to go towards the front. But again, as she starts to lower, you're going to be going behind the back, catch around the hips, help pick her up, and guide her through the movement. And the weight of her legs is basically going to carry her up and out of the center.
For the flyers, again, we're like plummeting towards the floor. You're going between the knees and you're worried about hitting your head. It's like this one, for whatever reason, I was like terrified of this one. I don't know why. It's like very easy. So just get it out of your head. Try a couple of cartwheels if you haven't done it already. And what we're gonna do is we're basically putting a lot of pressure on our shoulders. So make sure that you're stretching your shoulders out for this one because of the rotation that you're having to do, and a lot of your body weight is on your shoulders. So just be mindful with that. So what happens is I'm actually starting on my right leg. This can be inserted any way you need it to fit your routine. But I'm starting on my right leg, that way I can move towards him into that left foot. So what happens is I'm gonna look in the direction that I'm going for. So I'm gonna look towards his left knee here. I'm gonna reach behind his right leg. So I'm gonna drop into that left leg, reach for his right, grab it, and then as I go over, I'll grab that left leg and stand up. So it's a little bit more challenging to try it slowly, but just try it slowly a couple times. Your legs might go forward away from his body a couple times, and that's fine. Just kind of try it over and over and over again to get that rotation. So
we'll demonstrate it again slowly, but for the base here, as the flyer is going into position, just make sure if you are practicing it slow that you do have her hips, that she feels secure to actually try it slow. So make sure you have that hold first, then you guys can practice it slow and start to up the speed.
Right. We'll try it again, and then I'm going to explain one more thing. We're here, nice and slow, and out. So we have 2 points of contact. We have his thighs. So we're putting a lot of pressure into our shoulders here, but just like Brandon was mentioning before, as the base grabs around the waist, you actually have your legs to support you as well. So the more you push down and the more you lift yourself up out of that, the better. So we're gonna do it again, and I'm just gonna try and show you what happens if you let it drop or if you're actively moving your own body here, okay? So we're gonna do it wrong the first time, okay? It's gonna be ugly. We're gonna go into it, and I'm just kind of dumping into it, letting him do most of the work so that my body was not activated at all. Obviously, we can make it happen, but he may not be that happy with you later. So we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna go, I'm gonna get to the halfway point. I'm gonna droop first. We're gonna get to the halfway point, and I'm gonna show you how you can lift yourself up out of that. So we're gonna go into it wrong. So we're kind of drooping here. So this is the droop. Now I'm gonna lift myself up. I'm pushing down into my shoulders and with my legs and controlling my own body coming out.
She can teach upside down. Okay guys, we know the video says 3 easy dance lifts, but we kind of like to up the stakes each time. So this one's gonna follow the same principles as the last 2, but it's gonna end with a split. Does not have to, you don't have to go into a full split, so discuss that with your partner ahead of time. But this one's gonna require a little bit more control from both partners. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate it for you real quick. So first things first, let's establish our hold, and then there's gonna be a lot happening with the flyer here. So she'll really break this down because she makes a lot of this happen. So we again have that trapeze grip with our partner, so it's gonna be left to left, and we're grabbing to our fingertips are almost touching the inside of our partner's elbow here. So this provides the platform, so you can see how she's turned her body sort of facing that wall. I'm facing directly towards the camera. She's gonna be passing over top of the arm like this. Now what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take my right arm and I'm actually going to be reaching for behind her back, okay? Now at the same time as I'm doing that, I don't have to reach very far because we're gonna be lowering this arm. She's going to be going up and over, and as she does, I'm gonna catch the outside of her hip. So the hand that's closest to the camera, I'm gonna catch. And then from here, we're gonna kick together and lower down.
All right, so we have this hand hold. This is gonna be very important. I'm trying to lift up and over it. Again, just like anything else, we don't wanna dump into the lift. The lower you start, the lower you'll finish. So you wanna make sure you start up as high as you can because it'll naturally drop. So I'm starting forward on my left leg. That way I can keep my right leg back behind me. What's gonna happen, I'm gonna take that right arm up and over. I'm gonna lift up out of my body. Then from there, I'm gonna tilt my body forward as I step onto that left leg. I'm gonna shoot my right leg up and over and drop. So there's a couple of things that end up happening there. I like to be connected with him in as many ways as possible. Some people like the dazzle of like, she wasn't even touching him. If it doesn't matter to you, I like to be connected with him as much as possible. So I have my first point of contact. As I'm switching around, my right arm is actually ending on his back, right at his waist. That way I can kind of hold myself. I feel a little bit more secure. So we're gonna turn around. You're gonna see it from behind, so you can see when that arm happens. So we get that hand hold left to left. We're gonna reach up and over with that right arm, and I'm gonna step onto that left leg and kick my right leg up. So we step, rotate, I grab, and then we go down into the split. So that arm coming, swooping through is just a little bit of like security. You don't have to, you can keep it out. It just feels more natural. People aren't gonna see it anyway. And it just makes it feel a little bit more stable.
Thank you for joining us again, guys. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Again, make sure that you're taking it from the beginning to the end and being safe. If you're interested in more videos, there's gonna be like a box over here and probably here. You can click on some recommended videos for yourself. And if you could, I would like for you to subscribe over here. So there should be a little face popping up. Make sure you subscribe, give us a like and a comment. That really helps tell YouTube that our content is good, and then they'll recommend it to other people, and we can all grow together.
All right, now let's walk away. That's the end of the show. Bye, guys.